Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because today we are finally getting around to filming a Q&A, and all of these questions are from Instagram, so let's get started because there is a lot of them. But of course, grab yourself a tea, get a snack and enjoy the video. The first one is, how did you get into fitness? And I am now 23. I started my fitness journey when I was just 15 years old, which feels like absolutely forever ago. And it all started with me discovering Blogilates, which is Cassie Ho, who films Pilates videos, workouts from her home. And honestly, as soon as I started it, I fell in love with Pilates and working out and the way it made me feel, and I never stopped. It's actually crazy to me that because I started doing that and I found something I enjoyed, I truly never stopped. I definitely faced many hurdles in my journey which were quite difficult to overcome, which was to do with restricting foods, under eating, doing too much cardio, not knowing when to rest, and kind of just, I guess, following diet culture and having a very toxic mindset and relationship with food and my body because of that. But it's been a journey and I'm very grateful for where I'm at now. Next question, which can give you guys actually a bit more context. Have you ever struggled with food and exercise? So when I had really just started my fitness journey, obviously you are kind of working out to look a certain way, and of course it felt good, but the main motivation for me moving my body was literally to be as skinny as possible, to get thigh gap, to get six-pack abs, to be as slim as I possibly could. And that wasn't a healthy mindset to have, and because of that mindset it led me to over-exercise, to under-eat, to fear healthy fats, to fear any kind of food, to be honest, to fear just eating too much, when actually I was not nourishing my body enough because of that mindset. So it was super toxic and very, very negative, and I know a lot of you struggle with the same thing, but I promise you, you can overcome it. But I feel like now I've grown so much over these years, and now I know that food is, you know, fuel for my body. It's good, it nourishes my body, and also there's no need to fear foods that are less healthy than others, because it's all about balance and moderation at the end of the day. And if it makes you happy, then that's amazing. And when something isn't making you happy and you're just doing it to torment yourself and punish yourself, then that is not a good mindset to have, and is definitely going to negatively impact you also. Oh, what was your first public post on your Insta account? You know what, let me scroll. I'm gonna go to the one where I actually started posting fitness content. That was this legs at home workout. Oh my god, this was at my mum's during lockdown, wearing Gymshark obviously, and to this day now working with them, which is literally a dream come true. But it's really funny to look back at these photos and see how far my Instagram has come. My next question is, when did you decide to change your lifestyle and why? So I guess we can kind of lead on from the point about me falling into disordered eating and having quite a bad relationship with food and my body and exercise. So this went on for a few years because I wanted to be in modelling. Actually, I don't think I'm even tall enough to be in modelling, but it was something that I really wanted to do. And my perception of it, looking at, you know, Victoria's Secret models and all of these kind of people, was, okay, you have to be as small as possible, and that meant eating only a certain group of foods and restricting calories. And of course, social media at the time was quite toxic, a lot more than it is today. Obviously it's not perfect, but it is a lot better. I think it was like a gradual change of realizing, okay, this isn't making me happy, this isn't doing my body any good, and then learning that the way to take care of myself was not to be a certain size or weight. It was to be fueling my body with a lot of food, enough food that my body needs, and to take rest days and to start, oh, okay, lifting in the gym and doing Pilates and not doing cardio every single day at home, because that wasn't necessarily going to make me healthy. It was actually doing more bad for my body than good. Yeah, I can't exactly like pinpoint the moment where I decided to change. I just feel like it was a gradual change of me shifting my mindset. Do you eat unhealthy foods? And if you do, how do you maintain it and not binge? I think actually binging can be a problem for a lot of people. It's so easy to just keep eating these kinds of unhealthier foods just because they're very high in calories, but they're just so easy to eat and eat a lot of, whereas you'll find that when you have a bowl of vegetables on your plate or a piece of chicken, you become so much fuller really quickly, and you don't want to keep eating that kind of food. But there's always room for sugar, isn't there? Because I know when I go out to a restaurant and I finish my plate, I can't even finish the plate of dinner, but my mind instantly goes to dessert, and there's a reason for that, because sugar is super addictive and it tricks us. But it tastes good at the same time. So I don't think the answer is cutting it completely out, because when we do really hard cuts and we restrict foods from our diet, we will only want them more, and when we do allow ourselves to have them, we are most likely to binge them, which is why I love having everything in moderation. And I guess one thing I do to combat binging myself is, if I'm gonna buy some biscuits for at home, because I do love a chocolate digester with my tea, would be, okay, I've put them in a jar, and when I make my tea, I'm not going to bring the jar with me, I'm going to take one or two. But of course, this is something to do the majority of the time and learn to have the self-control, but it can be really difficult. So actually, I don't buy a lot of processed foods and keep them in the fridge or the cupboard, because again, it's really easy to eat them when they're there. Whereas if you don't buy a lot of them or don't buy any of them, you can just buy it when you really want it, have a smaller amount, and then also go for a healthier alternative the majority of the time. So that's just something that works personally quite well for me, but everyone is very different at the end of the day. How and why did you grow your social media? This is a really cool question, and it's quite a complicated one, because I started this 3 years ago now in lockdown. I think it was 3 years ago, and I guess it was more of a hobby for me. But then as I was doing my uni degree at the same time, I really hated doing that, and I didn't see myself going into that kind of field or 9-to-5 traditional job. I just felt like I wanted to work for myself. So during that time, I started posting on social media really consistently. I started learning more about it and how to get better, and my main focus was constantly improving my videos. But I guess a few of the best tips I can give you is posting consistently on like either one main platform, or it's always best to go on all of them. So TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, you can always just repost the same videos on all of them, which is what you should do. So posting consistently, engaging with other creators who are in your kind of niche, so what kind of topics you will be posting about. Also engaging back with the people who are supporting you, so you can kind of build and cultivate that community. Being as open as you can on your stories and in your posts. I actually find that quite hard, to be less of a perfectionist than I am and be more raw, which is very, very important, so people can really get to know your personality. And remembering that with anything and everything, results don't happen overnight. You may notice people who are blowing up on social media, but that is not the case for everyone. And also, your time will come if you keep being consistent, you keep focusing on getting better and not stopping yourself from doing it because you're afraid to do it wrong or do it imperfectly, because the only way to improve is to actually get stuck into the whole thing. I didn't start 3 years ago and have over 1,000 posts. My posts wouldn't be as good as they are now, and I'm sure that I'll look back in a year or two at my posts now and be like, wow, I've improved so much. It's just a continuous journey, and remember why you're doing it in the first place. Who is it for? Why are you doing it? What do you want to post about? And it will come. How do you stay consistent? Consistency is a big problem for a lot of people, and that is because, in my opinion, people rely on motivation. but motivation, it gets you started, it might give you a little push now and then, but it does not keep you going, it does not make you show up every day. It can only hold you back, because most of the time we are not motivated. When my alarm goes off at 6 a.m, I am not happy. I do not want to get out of that bed. I want to go straight back to sleep, and sometimes I snooze the alarm, and I do. And I always regret it when I do get up. But to be consistent is to show up for yourself when you have no motivation every single day. Be disciplined with yourself, and you can only do that by making the habits that you want to do every day, like going to the gym. You have to make them a priority for you, because if it's not a priority, it's not on your to-do list, it's not in your calendar, you are not going to stick to it. So I always say, if it's, whether it's about working out and starting your fitness journey, or journaling, or even just as simple as like learning something new, set yourself goals. What do you want to get out of it? How far do you want to go? Make it a date with yourself. Every single week, have these things booked out in your calendar, make them a priority, practice them every day, even if it's as little as 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. Just organize your time and make that thing a priority in your calendar, because it's so easy to just sit there and scroll on TikTok, and actually you could have used that time to work on that thing. Whether it's about your fitness journey or not, always remembering your why. Why do you want to do this thing? Is there a degree at the end of it? Is there a job at the end of it? Is it your health and well-being and your longevity that you want to focus on? What is the reason to do that thing and stick at it? Tips for beginner runners / running after an injury. Love your page. Love you. I am not a running coach. I am a personal trainer. I am not a running coach. However, I recently started running, as you guys saw on Instagram, and I think the biggest and kind of only piece of advice I am capable to give you is to make sure, 1, you are warming up and cooling down. 2, you are doing slow runs. I started running and I would literally just run as fast as I could for some reason, but it's not about being the fastest person, it's about running slow and steady and in that zone 2, which is where you can easily talk, you can breathe okay, you are not out of breath. It is a slow paced run, and that is really, really important for you, as well as doing tempo runs. So you want to kind of mix it up. I'm actually about to join the Run app, so I'm really excited to start using that and see how I get along, and I'll definitely be sharing that on my Instagram with you all. But yeah, follow a plan. No matter if you're running, if you're going to the gym, whatever phase you are in your fitness journey, follow a well-structured plan by a professional, so that you can do it properly. What is my favourite breakfast? I have so many favourite breakfasts, and it kind of depends on what mood I'm in. I'll go through weeks where all I want is avocado and eggs on toast, or I'll go through phases where all I want is yogurt and granola, or porridge, or baked oats. But I'd say my ultimate favourite breakfast is always going to be the avocado and eggs on toast with an iced oat latte. Just thinking about it makes me hungry. Someone asked, fitness is hard, the process is so lonely, and you have to overcome so much on your own. So this is more of a statement than a question. So yes, it is hard. Yes, it can be lonely. And yes, you do have to overcome so much. And I actually find that for me, and for a lot of other people, working out is therapy. It's so good for your mental well-being, and you won't realize it, but it is the best free therapy you will ever have. So doing it every day is going to make you feel better. You can easily start the day on a really bad note, feeling grumpy, not feeling so good, feeling a bit down. You'll go for a run or do a workout, and the endorphins running through your body, and you will feel so much happier. I can guarantee it. And not every workout is that way, but the majority are, and that feels so good. Working out is so amazing because you can overcome many different obstacles, not just the fitness side, when you are working out, because you're persevering when it gets hard and you want to quit, and you keep going, and that's how you get stronger. And it can help you in so many different ways. It can help you be more productive, and also have more success in other parts of your life, like studying, because you'll have more energy from doing the workout and moving your body. Your body will thank you for it. And it's a long and ongoing and never-ending process. Fitness is something that we should do our whole lives, because unfortunately life is super short, it's very unexpected, and the best way to take care of our bodies and make sure we live as long as we can, have the best health that we possibly can, is to work out, to eat healthy, to take care of our bodies. And it's very easy to not think about those things because we think about what we want now and the short-term things that we want to happen and feel, but we should really think about the long-term effects of what we're doing. And you know, one day you want to be running around and pick up your grandkids and throw them in the air and be able to go on long walks with your friends. Like, we should think about that too. So just remember that it should be part of your lifestyle. It's not something you should hate, and if you hate it, then maybe you need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture and see, is it your why that's causing you trouble? Is it the workout itself that you're hating? Yeah, take a step back, look at the bigger picture and start fresh. This person said that it's really lonely, and I think I personally haven't experienced that, because for me, working out it made me feel better, because I actually was bullied in school. So when I would go home and I would work out for an hour by myself, I would actually feel really good. So it made me feel less alone. It made me feel like, I don't know, part of something bigger, especially because I was following like a YouTube video with someone talking to me, and then I started making new friends who were also into fitness. And also, by the way guys, I have learned the hard way that one of the most important things is to surround yourself with the right people, and that sometimes is quite painful, cutting people out, but who you surround yourself with is who you're going to be most alike. So, you know, if your friends aren't kind of into the fitness space and you really want to be, then, you know, go and make friends with people who are, whether that's joining an app or talking to people on Instagram or social media, or joining like a running club, a sports club. Making friends who are like-minded will actually motivate you more, because they'll want to work out with you. So you'll get the best of both, where you can work out with friends and also you can work out alone. But if you don't have anyone to work out with, listen to a podcast. That is so enjoyable, and it makes me feel like people are talking with me and I can just laugh along whilst doing my session, and that makes me pretty happy. Someone said, how do you handle life setbacks? It is hard. It really is. We all go through different things in our lives, good and bad, and a lot of the time we get setback and we feel like we've made 10 steps forwards and then we've gone 11 steps back or 1 step back, whatever, however you feel. But it's all about, instead of feeling stuck in that situation and that you have no control or whatever you can't change about it, focus on what's in your control, reflect on the situation, and how can I move forward? Because being stuck in that negative mindset of, oh, why has this happened to me, is not going to help you. I actually found it a lot easier to move past setbacks when I realised that I am responsible for everything that happens to me, good and bad, and I can only control what's in my control, and the biggest thing you control is your mindset, and that will dictate your actions going forward. So, you know, life is definitely quite hard and things happen, but we can always push forward, and that's what makes life very beautiful. Another question is, how do you manage to keep showing up for yourself while maintaining balance? Balance, again, is something that I have found over the years of going through this journey and discovering new people and finding myself and figuring out who I am as an adult. Like, I'm not a teenager anymore, and that's quite hard to believe. I can't believe I'm 23. To try and sum up this question of how to keep showing up for yourself and maintain balance, I would just say, build the lifestyle that's going to get you to the place where you want to be in your life. And that's always going to shift as well, but just always knowing that it's okay to grow and change, and that to continue to grow, evolve, into who you want to be, a better version of yourself, you need to keep working on those goals, keep showing up when you don't want to. Always look at your goals and see, oh, maybe has that changed? Am I going in a different direction? But just try your best, and each day remember what you're working towards, and also just remember that to have that healthy, happy lifestyle, successful lifestyle, you just need to keep working towards everything and just focus on what you do in each and every day. So that is having rest days and taking time to go off social media and completely reset yourself. That's hanging around with friends. That's, you know, getting your ass down and studying for that exam. It's all about just the balance that will work for you, and that it's not a one-way fits all approach. It's just about you as an individual and what you want to achieve. So just focus on your goals and figure out how you can build your routine and your daily lifestyle to become that person. I really love these questions because I think this community has grown so much. We just hit 180,000 followers on Instagram, which is truly a dream. So thank you so much. But let's answer the last few questions. Someone asked, what is your biggest regret? My biggest regret is allowing what other people thought of me, and also the lack of belief that I had in myself hold me back from doing the things I wanted to do. I actually wanted to start doing YouTube a lot sooner and Instagram a lot sooner than I did, but because I never had any belief in myself, I didn't do the things that I wanted to do. And also I've said no to many things because I have feared them, I have been very anxious over them, but then I've always regretted it afterwards. So my biggest regrets, it's not like one specific thing, it's more so just of me letting fear, doubt and no self-belief hold me back. Someone asked, do we need protein shakes to lose weight? Something that we all need to realize and remember is that supplements are there to supplement and add to our lives, rather than, you know, be swapped out for a meal. So supplements, protein shakes, creatine, they are not at all necessary or essential. They are great if you want to add them and you have a very high protein intake goal for your fitness goals, but it is not necessary. And I don't drink protein shakes every day. I do enjoy them, but I would never have a protein shake instead of a meal. I would much rather have a Greek yogurt with some granola and some fruit, or some eggs and avocado. But if I'm lacking on protein one day, I would definitely add some protein shakes or protein bar to my diet, because it's there to add to it, not to replace. But most of the time, by the way, I can already eat around 120 to 130 grams of protein without any supplements. So having a high protein diet is really important, but it does not have to be done with supplements. Actually, would really recommend just making sure you're having enough protein in every meal. So making sure you're having a good amount at breakfast, your snacks, your lunch or dinner, so you're not cramming it all in one moment. It's also really good to have it across the day. Someone asked, how often do you do Pilates and how does it help us? The camera just stopped recording abruptly, so I'm gonna try and wrap this up. For me personally, it's all about slow, controlled movement. It really helps with my mobility, my flexibility, and because it's lighter resistance, lighter weight or body weight, you are truly focusing on your form and not trying to lift heavier and have your ego in the way. You are just doing the movements in a slow, controlled way, and it burns, guys. Like, seriously, do some Pilates, do some reformer. Like, it's harder than it looks. It looks beautiful, it looks graceful, but it seriously makes a difference. I've found that Pilates mixed in with weight training is insane. It will get you some serious results if you stick at it and do it properly. So I'd highly recommend it. Sorry that this is a short answer. I will also let you know I'm not qualified in Pilates, but I'd like to be. Going back to the running question, I completely forgot to answer the tips for running after an injury. I actually used to have an injury from running at rugby, which was my knees, just from them not being strong enough and also just overworking them without stretching or working on recovery. Again, I'm not a professional in this, but from my own experience, seriously focusing on warming up, cooling down, your post-workout recovery, so using a massage gun, stretching, doing yoga, using a foam roller as well to just get into your muscles and help you recover, taking breaks. And also, if you are running, then you need to be doing single leg exercises in the gym to strengthen your knees. This is so important, and potentially also working on, actually not potentially, work on your running form, and make sure you're running correctly so you are less likely to injure yourself. Again, not a professional in running, but I love it. That is all the questions I'm going to answer today because there was so many. I absolutely love them all, and also my camera is freaking out for how long I'm recording for. But I truly appreciate each and every one of you who comes and supports me every day, watches my videos, comments, messages me, even asks these questions. It means the world, and because of you guys I get to do this every day as my job, so thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next Sunday with either a vlog or a Gymshark haul. So stay tuned, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.